mind if I keep my hat on? See?
Yeah, Kenny. What do you attribute your improvement to these last four of the last 5 games?
I would like to say that guys are just buying in, still getting better. I would like to say that, we've been coming in the mornings doing, passing drills, shooting drills, more individual work, and making the practice simulate sort of what those individuals are. Executing the offense, fighting on defense, those kind of things.
Well, you said you'd like to say that.
Like, I know they're getting better. I'm not in a position, Russ, to be able to sit here and say we figured it out. It's every day until the day the season's over, whenever that may be, we're going to only work on getting better. I'm looking at this day by day.
Kenny, obviously you wish you would have won those last two games, both against ranked competition, but what has that done for you guys in terms of confidence? I'm sure it's given you a little bit of a boost, hasn't it?
It's given us a little bit of boost. It just goes to show that we can play with the top teams in the country when we do the things we're supposed to do. For me personally, I walk away as a coach saying, guys, what if we tighten up these 15 things that we did in the first half? What if we tighten up and execute a little better in the second half on these things? Where would this game be? There was maybe 25, 30 mistakes made, and we lose by 3. That's a lot. So I know we played better. I know we played with more energy. I know we fought. I'm proud of them for that. I know we're getting better. We shared the ball. There was a possession when the ball, again, went around the horn, and we drove it, and we got a good shot. But then there was also a possession to get it into extra possessions where we could have drove it, and the ball stayed on the horn with 30 seconds left. So understand what I'm saying.
As you mentioned, I mean, there's 20, 30 plays in a game that a lot of people look at the end of games. But speaking to that one specifically in the last 30 seconds, how do you go over it in practice? You go over it, as you said the other night. How do you get that next step to where they know what to do, to where they understand that situation?
I think it's more about going through those in game-like situations in a game. Because when I look at it, I see a guy catch the ball, and I see the lane open, and he drives it, and then he backs up with a wide-open lane. You got to take that layup. Then I see a guy pass it, that same guy pass it, and that guy holds it and looks. Then he passes it, he holds it and looks. Then he passes it, he holds it and looks. I need them to not hold it and look and be ready to attack that lane and take a quick 2 or penetrate, they collapse, get us a 3.
So is that something that is? I mean, you have to go through it, like you said, to do that. It's something because you guys go over that in practice all the time.
All the time.
It's just you have to go through it. You think?
How players digest the game is the other piece to this. It's on their terms. It's on when they get it. Not that we work on it a million times. It's sort of like when you want a player to shoot a mid-range jump shot, but he's never done it before. So you practice it, you practice it, you practice it. You say in scrimmage situations you got to take 5 mid-range jump shots this practice in order to get 2 or 3 in a game, and I don't care if you miss them. It's that kind of situation. How does he digest? How do I get these guys to digest that situation, which we've done before and got a quick 2? I can't remember the game, but there was a play when similar situation, we drove it, L drove it, found Sid under the basket, layup, quick 2, trying to extend the game.
Did you ask Jalen why he decided not to go ahead and go for the layup or possibly an and one and then backed off? Was it because you were down 3 and he thought you needed a 3?
I showed it to him. Obviously we talked about it. Okay, what did you digest here? Because I see the lane open. Do you see the lane open? I see it. Okay. Why did you pull it back? And when you pulled it back, why did you pick up your dribble? Why did you do that? Explain it to me. And, no matter what he says, it's not going to be the right answer. So no need in dwelling on it. I need you to see the game different. That's my message.
That just a matter of like, I'm going to go do this because I believe I can do it, and him not believing that he can do it?
Could be, could be. There was a play, but there was a second or two before that when L handed the ball off, which was for him to go dribble keep, but read what the defense is doing, and he read it perfectly, and he handed the ball off to Mike. Well, Jalen should have just circled around and screened L to come back. He popped out and chased the ball. It's how you digest the game. And listen, they're not robots. They're human beings that are going through emotions, and they've been losing games, and all year they've been trying to figure out, and there's a anxiousness that you see things that you've never seen before, trying to win. You know, they're not calm and poised during tough situations or coming down the stretch type of situations. They got to learn that.
Kenny, you have had some moments this year where you guys seem to be getting better, and then all of a sudden you have a game where it's a big step back. I think North Carolina at Pitt kind of come to mind for me. Do you see something different now out of your team that says it appears that we're still going forward? Because I think against Pitt, North Carolina, you kind of actually saw that coming.
Well, for me, you know, I can't say that I see it until we're actually in the battle. That's the unfortunate thing about having a team like this is I know they're trying hard. I know they're getting better. I know they want to win. I know they want to fight. And I can't say today what they're going to do tomorrow. I can only hope and pray and work, win today. Today is not about Clemson. It's about us. If we do the things that we're supposed to do, we'll have a chance to win that game.
Something that you've been pretty much this whole season trying to focus on is getting the players, getting them to understand what it means, to represent this program and all of its rich history. When you have so many of the guys coming back this weekend, and you have a banner going up, how have you tried to work that into your preparation for this week, and to try to get them to have a greater understanding of just what this all means?
I can say this to you. We were fortunate enough a couple days ago to have Eric Thomas come in and speak to our players. Arguably, if not the best, one of the best motivational speakers in the country. Unbelievable message he gave our team. Not going to go into it. That's one thing. Second thing, a team that this city loves is coming here to be celebrated. I want them to talk to our guys. I want them to tell them what they experience, why they experience, how their love and connectedness to one another, what it was, so that they can hear it and hear the passion of what a Louisville basketball team is, what a true Louisville basketball team is. They have that. And that group that's coming in, I want them to talk about it.
Kenny, do you show?
I hope so. Yes, I hope so. We'll see.
Kenny, do you provide examples for your team of what that team was? Like, do you show them video of that team so they can actually, instead of meeting guys who don't play basketball anymore, very few do, you see what they did on that court?
Well, we have a living example of one of the players that are around the guys quite a bit in Payne. So he's around us a little bit, and he spends a little time with us, and he talks about it. So that's one avenue. But to get all those guys together and be in this city again after what they've done for this city is huge.
Kenny, when you look at Clemson, they were seeming like on a downward trend, and then the other night they beat Florida State by 40. How do you kind of look at? Do you throw that game? I mean, do you throw those other games out at all? I mean, you got to look at all of them, but it's like your guys might look at a score and go, "Oh, they're not that good," and then, "Oh my gosh, they're up they win by 40 over a Florida State team."
In the basketball world, in the basketball circle, amongst coaches, amongst teams, you have to know when you put together a game plan, you're not putting together the game plan based on their worst or their down times. I look at Clemson, I'm saying they're going to play great. I want them to play great. And I want us to fight them while they're playing great. I want us to win a game when the team is playing great. Find a way to win. So don't care about their bad games. They lost a game here or there. I'm going to show the games where they won. I'm going to show how they won. I'm going to show the way they play when they beat you and what they do well.
When you look at that Florida State game, how did they do that to Florida State the other night?
Obviously, it starts with how well they pass the ball and shoot the ball. Their connectedness on offense. If you let that game become a you score, I score, they'll rip you apart. They're that good. They get the ball in the post. They have a dominant post player, and they got a three-man that can shoot it. They got guards that are really good, that are active and energetic. They got a really good, balanced team, and they fight. They fight.
Kenny, you're in a unique situation. You competed against the 2013 team. What is it about that team that sticks out to you from what you remember?
Just how tough they were, how hard they fought, how they played together, the pressure they put on you defensively. They were a really tough team, tough opponent to play against, and they fought to win. Well-coached team, great team, together team.
Kenny, we've talked a lot about how the players have gotten better. The energy and effort seems to be there. The offense has gotten better over the last couple of weeks. But how have you improved since the beginning of the season? How have you improved in, say, in the X's and O's standpoint, overall feel from the game? How have you gotten better as a coach during this time?
I go through and I evaluate every game. I go through after games. I come back to the office and I go through the game play by play, defensive possession by defensive possession, and say, okay, this is what I was trying to get them to see. Did they do it? Did they get what we were doing? Did they understand how we're playing? Is there something I could have done different? And I go every day and do that, whether it's in preparation for a team we're playing or after a team we played and we won or lost, doesn't matter. Breaking it down, what could I have done better? What did I do well? And that's how I do it. At the end of the day, listen, it's for me, it's more about how are they digesting what I'm giving them? And are they embracing it or are they fighting it? Does it really matter if they're doing either or? No, not in my mind, it doesn't. If I have to drag them to play a certain way, I'll drag them to play a certain way. I would like for it to be they work with me and we fight together to go beat a team, but if not, then we'll keep fighting. Doesn't matter.
Do you think you've earned a certain amount, the team, I mean, earned a certain amount of respect from maybe future opponents or the league teams with the way you've taken teams down to the wire? The Virginia players sort of alluded to they might have overlooked you some. May not happen from now on, but what do you think?
Two things. One, I want them to know how people view us. So we play a team. I may look at the media in that town that they live in, and they may say, thank God Louisville's coming up. I want them to know that's what they're saying. I want them to know when there's a foul and maybe the referee didn't see it or did see it, you haven't earned respect yet to get that call. Don't get mad. You fight for that respect from that referee to get that call. We're not going to sit there and beg referees to make calls for us. You have to be ready and prepared, mentally tough, that no matter what the call is, you're not, let's hope we don't get it. Have that kind of mindset. And then let's see what we are. Earn everything you get, don't want anything to be given to you.
Nobody said that you read, thank God for playing Louisville.
Well, I mean, I've read articles where the other team's media has said, you know, they on a 4-game winning streak, a 4-game losing streak, Louisville's coming up, got a chance, an opportunity to win a game. In my mind, that means, thank God we got Louisville coming up.
That 2013 team, Siva and Smith were sort of the head of the team. I mean, they led the defensive charge. How impressed are you by what they did that year?
Very impressed. You know, the fortunate thing for us is, you know, Russ is here during the summer, all summer. Up until the day he left to go overseas to play, he's around us. I love that. I love that. I love him talking to players about his experience. his vision of the way the game should be played, what he learned from being here, what he got out of his foundation of Louisville. And the same with Payne. Two guys that basically fought as hard as they could every possession and played with a fire, a determination to win, energy that they had, a connectiveness that they had. Two leaders, not just in their words, in their actions as well. So I think we are blessed to have those guys around us. I just pray that our guys continue and hopefully they understand exactly what those guys are saying to them and what it means.
That's 10 years ago. Do the players on this team remember that team, or were they too young?
Probably not, but they hear in their voices the passion. You know, Russell come and he's doing workouts by himself and with the trainer. You see how hard he works. Payne talks and you see he comes and works out with the strength coach. You see how hard he works. And he's talking to the guys and he's telling them. He's a positive, super positive giver as a human being. Love that about him. Love that he's giving that, and I hope they're paying attention to it so they understand that's what you should be as a basketball player.
Do you think, that the guys, as they've been playing better this season, do you think that they've gained a better understanding? Do you see them taking more pride, in this program and the things you're trying to get to, get to them?
I think so. I mean, look, from day one to today, there's been all kind of stuff that we had to go through together. Doubt, trust in me trusting in them, understanding that them trying me at times. I don't feel good. I don't want to practice this hard. Me saying, I don't care how you feel, you're going to practice this hard. To understand what my vision is and the way I see them versus the way they see themselves. So from that day to this day, the wins does not indicate just what the growth has been. It's been significant. We just got to figure out a way to fight out wins. And I don't care if it's the last game of the season or what, I'm not giving up. To be honest with you, if I'm completely honest, and I don't look ahead, I want every day to get better than the day before. And when we get to the ACC tournament, I want us to say, look, I want us to have a mentality that, look, we're ruining somebody's season.
One more thing. You started a trainer instead of Curry, and first time Curry hadn't started, or the third time. Is that something you plan to stick with, or what is a matchup thing, or what?
I thought that game was a matchup thing. I love the way JJ's been playing. To me, I don't look at it like I have a set-in-stone starting lineup. I can start Kamari, I can start JJ. It doesn't matter. They're all going to play. They're going to play starters minutes. I view them all as starters. And I want them to see themselves that way. Doesn't matter when the ball goes up. It matters when the game is over, who's in the game. Thank you, guys.